What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre, One Shot Game. Now, you already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So, hey, look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact how powerful spiritual transfer can be. And the things that you can be able to do with your spirit the moment you set it free. Meaning you have done the internal work to become your true self, to allow it to fly with the wind, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people's spirits are trapped inside their body simply because they're either not aware of the work or they don't want to do the work to be able to set their spirit free. And when you are young, your spirit is free, but then it starts to form chains the moment you start going through life and you accustomed to, you know, how people want you to be versus having the ability to be your own self. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I am once someone who has been in the dark for a little while about things that have been hidden, and I never knew how easy spiritual transfer was. Just a simple look in the eyes, you know what I'm saying? A simple touch, you know what I'm saying? A simple connection can have you transferring, you know what I'm saying, spirits with other people in a good way, a bad way, in a romantic way, platonic way, friendship way, you know what I'm saying, family way. Like, it's so transferable when it comes to your spirit that you have to be mindful of understanding that it takes time to filter out the spirits that are connected to you for you to be able to blossom into your full self. And then once that happens, you have the ability to fully zone in on your power and push away or disconnect from people's spirits that transfer with you that are not on the same level. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, without that information or knowledge, what happens is you will just allow any type of spirit into your vessel, and if they consume you long enough, you'll end up turning into that. You know what I'm saying? Or not having the ability to be yourself. I've come across a few encounters like that, and listen, let me explain something to you. The spiritual transfers are so real that it will have you believing, like deep down inside, that you really see this person, even though, you know what I'm saying, their body is not physically there. You know what I'm saying? It's just their spirit. You know, hey, it's tricky. And so then once you have the ability to do the inner work that you need to do to be able to release your spirit, what happens is you'll start to see your spirit in other places, even though you're physically in one location. Listen, it's hard for people to understand who haven't unleashed that part of themselves yet, but for the ones that have, it's a beautiful experience. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives you the ability to be able to be open into how to unlock yourself to be able to do that. But again, most people grasp the experience, they hold on to it, and then they get used to 3D life, and then they shut that part of life off. You know what I'm saying? And now they're back into this world of thinking that, you know what I'm saying, it's destruction and it's, you know, hell in life, and they're not gonna win, and it's hard. But that's what you adapt yourself to. You know what I'm saying? That is the route you've chosen yourself to be on. You can easily take the record off of that line and put yourself into a new reality. But again, a lot of people are not open and understanding to how to be able to free your spirit, because again, everybody's spirit is pure when they're young, and then what happens is you start going through life, and now the blockages from other people in your life are now scarred and etched onto your spirit, and you have to figure out a way on how to clear those blockages away. So therefore, you know what I'm saying, you could be able to set your own spirit free. Listen, I'm telling you, it's an experience that I think truly is something that a lot more people are experiencing because it's time. But I think it was a time in the world where everybody didn't get a chance to experience that. So it's foreign to people. It's so new because it's so something they've never experienced. They're having a hard time understanding it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's like really real. But again, once I started to understand the strongness in spiritual transfer, it helps you understand the importance of having time alone, because you have to be able to subtract your spirit from the people that don't know how to control their spiritual transfer. So what happens is they'll latch on because they like the benefits or how they see their life when they're around you, and then they'll start giving your spirit and energy away to everybody else, and then you'll feel depleted, because the one thing that everybody seems to miss is the fact that we're all connected. It's just this part of life was hidden from us, so we didn't know about it. So it seems very intriguing because we're experiencing the first signs of it, but we haven't fully encased our brain into it because, again, like I said, we're trapped into the 3D experience. But let me explain something to you. To be able to explain spiritual transfer to a world that is completely blocked off from that experience, it becomes very foreign. You know what I'm saying? But again, I've had spiritual transfer experiences where I was pretty much doing some wild things with people's spirits, but not physically them. But they were basically projecting their spirit onto another spirit, and it's almost as if you step into that experience, you know? Listen, once you are able to see into the unseen, which is the things that are not visible to the physical eye, meaning you have to have your third eye open to be able to even see this part of the world. You know what I'm saying? You start to never want to go back. Hey, once you see that side of life, it's something that you can't take back because it's a beautiful experience. But again, people think it's easy, and it's not. Once you have the ability to see in both, life actually becomes a test every day. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you have to fight every day. Life is not normal like it would be for someone else who can't see in both worlds because they're still blocked. So they only live in one world. So everything in that world, it's conducive to them. They keep doing it, even if it's hurting them, because they don't have the ability to see in the other. And also, I think a lot of people misunderstand the fact that a lot of what you experience in the 3D physical world is also a product of what you see spiritually. So if you can battle a lot of those lessons, but you can't handle like being able to be yourself when you spiritually transfer, or when someone's trying to spiritually transfer with you, I think that's the battle. And I think that's why a lot of people can't have that ability, because or they haven't unlocked it, because you would become angry, you would become frustrated. It's a process you have to learn. Like, a lot of times people blame things on me that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? They want, you feel me, to see me in a bad mood because of how they feel about their life. They project onto me, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not strong enough to handle that, you're going to get upset. You're going to get mad. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel some type of way because you don't understand that these people are projecting because they don't know how to handle themselves. It's a spiritual transfer that is being leaked into the world. And what I mean by that is, when you are able to set your spirit free, and you're able to be yourself and have it rub off to other people's spirit, the people that are still stuck in this spirit of controlling other people with their energy, once they start going out into the world, because again, they've been told to go against someone whose spirit is set free, so they go out into the world still being themselves. But what happens is those people have been infected with a certain spirit, and now whatever they're doing no longer works. So they automatically have to go into this space where they have to find their true selves. And some people hate doing that they'll find anyone that they can project on, especially if they feel as if your energy is something that's pure enough to be able to predict or live a certain way in life. Trust me, they smell it on you. You know what I'm saying? They really do. You can't hide it, because once it starts to become a scent that they pick up, it's nothing you can do to avoid it. All you can do is just become stronger in who you are, because they pick it up instantly. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just a soul prediction off of how they truly feel about themselves and not being able to look at themselves. You know what I'm saying? But listen, spiritual transfer. Once I started to understand the magic behind it, it's crazy how your whole life, when you're able to see in the spirit, is predicted of interacting with spirits in the unseen and seen world. And a lot of people will think you're crazy. A lot of people will, you know what I'm saying, not understand. But that's because they have certain blocks on being able to spiritually connect with themselves. So you have to really be able to connect with the people that also can see what you see. Otherwise, when you talk, that it will sound like a bunch of gibberish. They won't be able to understand. That's why I'm the type of person, I don't just have conversations with anybody, because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people don't understand the magic behind being able to use the spiritual world to create your reality in the 3D. They don't get it. They don't understand it because a lot of people have spiritually projected onto them, and they haven't figured out a way to stop the unwanted spiritual projections that's leading their life in a direction they don't want to go. They don't know how to cut that part of their life off. So usually they end up being in a commitment with that energy for the rest of their life, simply because they don't know how to cut it off. It's crazy, but it's so real. But you know what I'm saying? The ability to communicate with spirits in your dreams, in your physical reality, through experiences. Listen, and a lot of times it's not romantic. Sometimes it's platonic. It's not sexual. Sometimes it's friendship wise. Sometimes it's family energy. Hey, it's in a way where it's crazy magnetic, but you will know the experience. And oftentimes it's told to keep under wraps because it's a world that a lot of people wouldn't understand. So if you have the ability to be able to experience that, oftentimes that ability to keep quiet, I feel as if, is what helped people make a lot of money. So when someone actually speaks on it now, it's almost foreign because they're still in this reality of keeping quiet. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow other people to know, you know what I'm saying, what they can do or how it works, so that they can create their reality for themselves. Because whatever they're feeding into me, I will feel depleted if they knew the reality of what's really going on. Listen, know and understand that you can never take away from yourself by helping someone. Anything that you rightfully earn yourself will always be with you. It cannot be snatched by someone else because you helped someone. You gave them a boost over the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, helping each other is way stronger and powerful than keeping it a secret so it's only entitled to you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I didn't experience this experience until about when I was 35, was turning 36. You feel me? And it kind of woke me up. Now it's becoming more visible now to a lot of people to be able to see and experience things that otherwise wasn't able to be seen in a world where we were basically unknowledgeable about that world. So it may have been happening. I look back on my life and I'll be thinking about a lot of things that happened. I'm like, oh dang, that's why now, because I'm more knowledgeable. But back then I had no clue as to why certain things were happening. But be understanding and wise enough to realize that eye contact is a spiritual thing. Touch, physical touch, is a spiritual thing. You feel me? A lot of times you can be sharing past lives with people, meaning what they experienced, the ancestors before them could experience, and if not healed, it will be passed on to you. But if you are someone that really wants to not be able to take on the physical transfer, you have to be willing to do what it takes to know yourself. And a lot of people, they can't get rid of some things, so they'll spiritually connect to other people's past lives, and it'll start overtaking them. You know what I'm saying? And they'll start being somebody that they are really not, to feel as if that's how it's been told to dictate their life. And listen, the more vulnerable your soul is, the more sensitive you are, I feel like the easier it is. You know what I'm saying? The more, sensitive you feel towards others when you're young, the more easier it is for you to carry on those, past lives from other people. You really have to understand how to protect yourself currently right now, especially in this era, because it's that world has blossomed now. It's easier to see now as where it was so covered, because all it took is that one person to finally wake up to being able to unreveal the spiritual world with the physical. Once that happens, people are now experiencing supernatural experiences, is where is before people were too blind to see it. So people were exposing it on TV, but I feel like they were making it up to get money. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be interested in something that they don't think is real. But when it actually discovers and points out to be real, now it's no longer interesting. So then that means it's time for people to create new things to be interested in, because that part of life that was shielded off from us knowing has been revealed. You know what I'm saying? Freddy Krueger, the real. You feel me? In your dreams, if you don't listen, get your spirit right, it will haunt you in your dreams. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Candyman. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, all those things that we see that was scary to us, Chucky, are all the things that, you know what I'm saying, were spiritually us, for real. And without, you know what I'm saying, being able to heal them, you feel me, it can turn real disastrous, should I say. And that's how killers and serial killers, etc., are made and created. You know what I'm saying? So again, not being scared to face your darkness will have you being able to add an extra layer of protection onto spiritual transfer. Because once I got a chance to experience spiritual transfer, it's almost as if my life became somewhat magical. It's not an experience everyone will understand, because some people are just too blocked in their head to actually even understand what I'm saying. So that's why the whole experience is something that, you know what I'm saying, when that one person comes along that has experienced what I've experienced, then it'll be easier for them to understand and we can exchange ideas. But right now, it's still kind of under wraps, you know. But just realize that spiritual transfer is a real thing. And sometimes just being born into this life, you spiritually transfer all the things from your parents' that they didn't heal. And you wonder why your life is on a hamster wheel. But if you like it, you will stay there. And you'll have a permanently signed contract, commitment to that part of life, because you're too afraid to set your soul free, so that you can understand how to protect yourself in a world where people are very understanding and hell-bent on spiritual transfer. Like, a lot of people won't look me in my eyes. I keep my sunglasses on a lot, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to hug. A lot of people don't want to shake hands. A lot of people don't want to even understand that something so free can be so real. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost as if I'm like unreal in a world where people are just still stuck in 3D reality. So it's almost as if you become invisible. And people love to take their spirit and dump it on you so that you can become them, because they feel so miserable by basically pinpointing your insecurities. And if that's the case, oftentimes that's a lesson on where you need to become stronger, because if it was easy for them to get in and basically cloak their spirit with yours, it's because somewhere in your life you still haven't become strong enough to protect yourself from them being able to do that. But once you do become strong enough, they'll all separate on their own. They'll disappear. They'll go their own way. They won't even have the urge to want to be around you anymore, because their tricks no longer work. So they can't spiritually cloak how they feel with you, because you became, you feel me, immune to their whole system. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you right now, if you don't know, I just told you. Be mindful of spiritual transfer. It's a very real thing. But if you want to grow, you will work on yourself, and you will make yourself resistant to spiritually transferring any bad from others, just the good. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.